Do you have your heart set on having a baby boy this year? As I've received a lot of questions concerning the last video I made about how to have a baby boy. If your dream is to have a baby boy this year, follow this video. My name is Dr. Nkiruka Bridget at Obgyn Talks with Dr. Adazayon. Please make up your mind to subscribe right now and share this video. Thank you. Let's talk about how to have a baby boy. Many people have asked me questions on that video, how to have baby boys this year. There are different methods on how to have baby boys. However, on today's episode, I want to talk about scientifically proven ways to have a baby boy. Now, when we talk about baby boys, we'll talk about genetic males. The males, that is the boys, have XY chromosome genetically, and the females have XX chromosome. What happens during fertilization and implantation is that when a sperm carrying Y chromosome fertilizes the egg or eggs of the woman carrying X chromosome, a baby boy is formed. If they are twins, it could be XX, it could be XY, it could be, twins. Now, when we talk about one child, either X chromosome from the man or the Y chromosome from the man fertilizes the X chromosome from the woman. When this fertilization occurs, if it's XX, it becomes a woman, that is a baby girl. If it's XY, it becomes genetically a baby boy. What am I saying in effect? It is the man that determines the sex of the baby. I'm saying this for some of us some people in the third world countries where men think is the woman that determines the sex of the child. No, it is the man that determines the sex of the child, because it's the man that has the XY chromosome. The woman has XX chromosome. So when the man donates the X chromosome, he fertilizes the X chromosome of the woman and a baby girl is formed. If he donates the Y chromosome, it fertilizes the X chromosome of the woman and a baby boy is formed. So XX is for girls, XY is for boys. Now, these are practical ways to have a baby boy. Number one is pre-implantation genetic diagnosis. This may be expensive. It has to do with fertilizing the egg outside the woman's body. That is, it's always in conjunction with in vitro fertilization, and a test done found out that this is a baby boy and is implanted back. So with pre-implantation genetic diagnosis in conjunction with in vitro fertilization, the doctors extract one cell from the rapidly dividing embryos that have been fertilized in a petri dish and tested to find out the sex of the baby, of the fertilized egg, before implanting it back into the woman's uterus. With that said, pre-implantation diagnosis, using it for sex selection, is controversial. It's actually used for diagnosing some genetic diseases in humans. However, some people can employ it in finding out the sex of the child for family balancing. Some other clinics see it as a way to balance the family, especially for those that have had mostly females and they need a boy, a baby boy, or those that have had mostly boys and they need a baby girl. This is controversial. Some countries accept it, some countries do not accept it. The next is sperm sorting. Sperm sorting has to do with finding out the sperm cells that carry the Y chromosome and using them to do intrauterine insemination into the woman, or in vitro fertilization. Now, what does this one entail? You get a sperm from the man, sort it, find out the ones that have the Y chromosome, pick them, and fertilize an egg outside before implanting it. This one is not like pre-implantation genetic diagnosis where you fertilize and then pick, but this one you can just pick the sperm, fertilize an egg with the one carrying Y chromosome and implant it back into the woman's uterus. Or you can use it for intrauterine insemination. pick those ones that have the Y chromosome and insert them directly into the woman uterus, then migrate through the fallopian tubes to go and fertilize an egg. And mostly, you know that it is going to be a man. Now, the third method is use of follicular tracking. It's been said that when a woman have intercourse as close to the ovulation date as much as possible, the likelihood of having a baby boy is high. How does this happen? When you know you are able to calculate your menstrual cycle, I've already made a video on how to know your menstrual cycle, when to ovulate, when you are not ovulating, your free days. So when a woman is very sure of when she ovulates and decides to avoid sex till that time, the likelihood of having a baby boy is high, because the sperm carrying Y chromosome is said to migrate fast and dies fast earlier. So if you have already deposited some sperm cells carrying Y chromosome before ovulation, long before ovulation, they might have migrated to the fallopian tubes and stayed there, not seeing any eggs to fertilize, they die off. And those ones carrying X chromosome takes longer time to meet up. They are resilient, they don't die earlier. So having sexual intercourse as close to your ovulation as much as possible is very beautiful. It will help the Y carrying chromosome that fertilizes an egg to become a baby boy to fertilize the egg. So if you are able to know when to ovulate, avoid sex from your menstrual period to that moment you are going to ovulate and have sexual intercourse at that moment. It is promising that you are going to have a baby boy. Now, another way to do it is with use of ultrasound. We call it follicular tracking. From the 10th day, for those that are not sure of when they ovulate, from the 10th day of their menstrual cycle, they start doing alternate day follicular tracking. This is actually done using transvaginal probe, and the radiologist identifies the egg that is the dominant follicle, that is the one that will rupture, and subsequently continues to monitor that egg until it ruptures or about to rupture, and tells the lady to go and have intercourse with the partner, hoping that it will rupture immediately or just within 12 hours to 24 hours. And if a Y chromosome carrying sperm is deposited at that moment, the likelihood of having a baby boy is assured. Now, the last I might want to be talking about is deep penetrative sex. This is not scientifically proven. However, it's been said that if you have a deep penetrative intercourse and the sperm is deposited at the mouth of the cervix as much as possible, it is easier for the Y carrying chromosome to migrate faster. So what does it mean? It's just a common sense. It does not take a longer time for it to migrate. It takes a shorter time, and this deep penetrative intercourse is better during ovulation period. Is very much better during ovulation period. So how do you know when you ovulate? I've talked about use of follicular tracking. Another method is, I don't have a video on that, you can watch it. Follicular tracking. Another method is some people used to feel mid-cycle pain. Others will have what we call stretching of the cervical mucus. This actually means that within 12 to 24 hours, the person is likely going to ovulate. And another method is if you have a very regular menstrual cycle, very regular, I mean you always have 28 or 30 days, just know that you ovulate 14 days before the next menses, not 14 days after the menses. I mean 14th day before the next menses. So if you have 30-day menstrual cycle, you're likely to ovulate on the 16th day. If you have 32-day menstrual cycle, you actually ovulate on the 18th day. If you have 28-day menstrual cycle, you ovulate on the 14th day. If you have 26, you ovulate on the 12th day. So if you have had your menstrual cycle regular for some time, calculate retrospectively. You will find out when you ovulate. Now, some people have talked about dieting. Some people have talked about different, vitamins, supplements. These are not scientifically proven. So these ways I've listed are the ways to have a baby boy. Some are costly and will require some invasive procedures, while some are not. So I wish you the best of luck as you try to balance your family. If you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Don't forget to share this video. Subscribe to my YouTube page. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok at OBGYN Talks with Dr. Ada Zion. Thank you for sharing. See you some other time. I love you guys.